Okay, kicking it off here on a Tuesday. Glad you're with us here. As always, Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light, scanning the River Region Straw chat line early today, Barry. Guess what chat I gravitated to first? This one grabbed me. I couldn't believe it. John from Wetumpka and the wife went to a Braves game last night.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what?
Heck yeah. Well, they are the major league franchise, the unofficial face of Southeastern United States Major League Baseball. They're America's team.
Is that based on coverage maps? I've always wondered what that was based on.
Here's the deal. John and his bride went to a Braves game.
Yeah, they did.
And I'll admit, it's a little easier to get to a Braves game at the old place at Turner Field from where we are, because this is going to go all the way through. There is a picture.
Oh.
And I am scared. This is John and his lovely bride.
Okay.
The Braves and the A's.
Oh.
And she's an A's fan.
Oh, I forgot.
So she's wearing her A's jersey. The only reason why I'm even gun shy about putting this picture up, what's the first thing John will see?
Huh. Well, no, Barry, they got there early.
See,
extra early.
John from Wetumpka and his lovely wife, they are at the Braves game. They put it out there, and I thought, oh, man, can you wait until the game's like in the second inning, and can you find a spot where there's 10 jillion people behind me? Dude in the Santa hat in the background, not necessarily the indicative of a rousing crowd last night.
Is he a Dodgers fan? What's he got on back there? Looks like Dodger blue or maybe Toronto
I'm
Blue
thinking
Jays
he's a Cubs fan or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. But, yeah, John from Wetumpka
Barry, I'm going to say
to the Braves game last night.
I'm going to say they either got there really early or, as Skip Carey used to say, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we have a late arriving crowd tonight at the ballpark.
Yeah, partial sellout here at Fulton County Stadium. That's back in the old days. But it was a good night for the Braves. They win
John,
yesterday.
you could have sent the picture to me too, just saying.
No, he didn't send it to me. This is on social media.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of picked it off of social media. He did send it to me privately in a DM in social media. Man. Yeah, and I saw that, and I wanted to text him to direct message him back and say, "Ooh, man, you got to let me know in enough time so I can Photoshop some fans in there, or at least take it when, it was standing room only, which I would imagine it was at some point last night, just when he."
How about John the romantic taking the bride to the game? She's an A's fan.
That's a keeper right there. She wants to go to the baseball game with you.
Yeah.
And you never let her go. That's for sure.
Baseball game aside, that was a very nice touch on your part, John. I will have to give you some credit.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Braves win. They shut out the A's, who are terrible, by the way. They're 0-4. 4-0 was the final score.
How many times will the Braves see the A's again this year? Huh. Funny how those schedules work.
I don't know which way you're taking on that. Do you mean they'll never play him again, or they'll play him 11 times? Sometimes John leaves it to the viewer to figure out. Well, I never said that. Wait a minute. You thought I said that they'll never play the A's again? No. I said they'll play them all the time because they're terrible, and the national networks keep propping up the Braves.
I would say, how many more times are they going to play the Marlins? Because it seems like that's all they ever play. But I see the Marlins are actually leading the division right now, so I can't really pick on them. Actually, it's kind of a bottleneck there. A lot of teams at 3-1 in that division.
It's very early.
Oh, it is.
Early. So, so the Braves win. There is that. Nothing else really, although, John's early entry into the green room. Hey, I see you working there. So there's probably is some newsworthy sports news we'll pass
Can I ask one question about the Braves? I did get an email or something about Braves Vision. On Spectrum or whatever. I don't have Spectrum. I'm just curious, our Braves viewers and listeners out there, if you could hit me up on the chat line. Can you get Braves Vision on YouTube TV? I'd like to know that.
He does not like, and the reason why he's asking is not a bad reason. He does not like not being able to ignore the Braves out of his own free will. Not being able to get the Braves and not being able to ignore them because he couldn't get them anyway is not nearly as good as knowing he has the Braves at his fingertips and saying, "Oh, I'm not going to watch the Braves."
Well,
say, "Hey, did you watch the Braves game?" And John says, "No, I don't get the provider, that supplies the Braves game." That doesn't do anything for him.
Huh.
Hey, John, did you watch the Braves game? No. Heck no. I mean, I bebopped right by it. Empty stadium, bozo manager on the bench.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same oomph when he can't actively ignore them.
Well,
when he only just can't get them.
My little nephew's going to be here for Easter over the weekend. He's a huge Braves fan. He might want to check it out. I could pop it on for him, and keep him quiet for a couple of hours.
While Uncle John is taking care of some business over here. Yeah. Get it down to get it down to 2.5 and I'll buy it. Something like that. Yeah. Also in the world of sports, NBA's coming up, I promise you, in about an hour and 15 minutes, judging from the sound of things pre-show. There is a new setup.
Okay.
Not really a setup. There's new personnel on the college football playoff selection committee.
Yeah. I'm not sure this is good news for Bama fans.
The new members, the college football playoff management committee, as announced by Rich Clark, who's the new, Bill, I shouldn't have even started that. Rich Clark is the executive director of the college football playoff. The new members are Dr. Brian Maggard.
Okay.
Dr. Brian Maggard is the athletic director at Louisiana Lafayette, or as John calls them, La.
Yep.
Jeff Tedford.
Name rings a bell. I want to say he coached at Cal.
There you go. At Cal and at Fresno State.
Yeah.
And the former head coach at Arkansas State, UCF, former offensive coordinator at Florida State, and former head coach of the Auburn Tigers, Gus Malzahn. Yeah. 3-year terms starting this spring, replacing 3 people that John has never heard of before. So,
yeah,
there is that.
Well, I wonder if that's good for Alabama to have Gus Malzahn, who I don't think has a love for the Alabama athletic department. Not to say it would, affect his decision-making in any way, shape, or form. And not to say prior members of the selection committee, gave Alabama a little extra nudge, even though there's a conspiracy theory out there that says that they did.
Right.
What if it comes down to one last vote and Gus has got to be the one to yay or nay? Bama's in or not? What do you say, Gus?
It'd be like the scene in Gladiator or Joaquin Phoenix, Commodus. He goes, everybody's going, turn them down, send them to the lions or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It really is. And I don't mean to keep bringing this up, but it does indicate just how deeply felt the hole in our lives is. But it's a shame when they release the college football playoff selection committee announcement releases Gus Malzahn's biography. And Philip is not around to have written it. Because Gus Malzahn spent 35 years in the coaching ranks, known for his innovative offensive philosophy and consistent success at the highest levels of the sport. His resume includes a national championship, a second national championship game appearance, 3 conference championship, 8 conference championship game appearances, 13 years as the head coach at Arkansas State. That was just one. Auburn and UCF. Posting a career record of 105-62. He won more games than Pat Dye did.
Good.
Now, and of course, there's nothing in it about he beat Alabama a certain number of times, which is where Philip would have put that in there. Listen to this. and this is not Auburn writing this, I don't think. This is not John and Barry, putting this together. Listen to this. This is not super amazingly Saban-esque or anything, but quote, his Auburn teams reached the postseason in all 8 of his seasons. Every one. And won 2 SEC Western Division titles. 2013, his first season as head coach at Auburn, he led a remarkable turnaround, taking over a team that finished with 3 wins the season before and leading the program to a 12-2 record. Nice. The SEC championship and a spot in the BCS national championship game. Just think about that, Auburn fans. That was 13 years ago this fall. His Auburn teams reached the postseason in all 8 of his seasons and won 2 SEC Western Division titles.
That's amazing.
You look at it.
It's amazing.
You look at it with the benefit of hindsight, which, as Pat Dye once famously said, is 50-50. Auburn, did you not realize what you had when you had it? I mean, you look at it, you read it now. Auburn fans, after the 2025 football season, read it now. The postseason, all 8 of his seasons. 2 SEC Western Division titles. National championship game appearances. Auburn fans, do you read that now and go,
yeah, why were they so
whose
eager
idea was that?
To get rid of him? I do not. I've always wanted to had a hard time understanding that. It's kind of like I'm having a hard time understanding how Hugh Freeze didn't do any better at Auburn. A guy that I lobbied for openly said, Auburn, you got to hire Hugh Freeze. He's the best fit.
He made John look bad.
No kidding. You got that right.
I don't know. I think you would think for some of the old guard, this is what somebody told me. It wasn't recently. It was like 3 months ago. I just think the game passed Hugh Freeze by. I think that it was just a case of, the old guard can't reach young people, and they're always – like field generals and my way or the highway, and they're tough on them. And kids these days don't like that. He told me that. I remember it was during the football season, right after Freeze got the axe. And then whatever it was, 3 weeks later, Curt Cignetti, at age 64 years old, wins a national championship in Indiana. So it couldn't have been that, right?
I guess not.
The games passed him by. Kids don't relate to him and everything. Well, there's a guy who's like 6 years older than him that blew through everybody, didn't lose a game this year. I can't get on that subject for too long, maybe something during the summer, because it is one of those subjects that I don't know the answer to, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But number 2, I can't even hazard a guess as to why it didn't work out. Was it bad quarterback selections? Did he all of a sudden forget what a good quarterback looks like, or was it?
I remember people. I remember people saying that
why did he fail?
Defensive coordinators have figured out his offense.
Maybe
it's
the
not
same
as
thing
tricky and not as hard to defend as it used to be. Now, I'll say a lot of that had to do with not having Nick Marshall around, who I thought was the hardest of any quarterback that he had to defend, and I'm including Cam Newton in that.
John was a big Nick Marshall fan.
To me, that was the scariest guy on the field. The thing about Cam, you kind of knew what was coming. Now, whether you could stop it or not, that was up to you.
Auburn was, I think, in that year on 3rd and less than 2, or 4th and less than 2. They were 16 for 16.
Yeah, but you knew what was coming. It was up to you to stop it. Nick Marshall, you didn't know what was coming. It was a guessing game. Drove me crazy. Couldn't figure out. And of course, having linemen 6 yards downfield and you throw the pop pass, that's, hey, until they call it, man, go for it. Knock yourself out.
I think the quarterback now, then, and especially now, is everything. It's one of the things the transfer portal has done is it's evened out the quarterbacks. You've got pretty good quarterbacks everywhere. Rarely anymore do you have just terrible quarterback play. And if you do, it's your own fault. Like the quarterback at LSU now, they lose a really good one from the last couple of years. Of course, they plugged in Jaden Daniels. They plugged in Joe Burrow, all this kind of stuff. They got a kid named Sam Levitt right now. He's at Arizona State. Got him to the college football playoff 2 years ago. He'll be good. He'll be fine. Everybody should have a good quarterback nowadays because there's enough going on around. There's just not a log jam.
And if you're a quarterback and you're not playing, you're going somewhere where you can play.
So, and quarterback nowadays, especially in Freeze's offense, was everything. Got to run, got to make a quick decision, got to be able to throw accurately, got to be able to think quickly because the offense is moving quickly. Yeah. And he swung and missed on a few of those. Is it his fault? Is it Auburn NIL fault? I can't even hazard a guess. I can't even tell you why that didn't succeed because it had every appearance that it was a perfect.
That one fooled me. A couple of chats I want to get to before we go to the break. Barry, I did not know this. Major League Baseball has restructured the schedule so you're not playing the same teams over and over and over and over again. Another idea they've taken from me. Thank you. Appreciate it. A little recognition would be nice from time to time.
Fewer Marlins games? Oh, man.
Way offsides. Jeff says that YouTube is in negotiations with the Braves channel. He says, I'm out of luck. No, I'm not out of luck. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he feels better about being able to ignore them actively than like, man, I can't get the Braves anyway. Barry, he likes knowing he can get them and then choosing not to watch them.
Barry, do you do impressions?
No, I don't.
You don't? Well, Robbie wanted to know your impression of the new head basketball coach at Troy.
Oh, I like him. I can tell you that. I can do a pretty decent Judge Smales. I use that for Bama fans, but I don't do it very often. His name's Adam Howard. They had the press conference yesterday. I got to MC it. I think he'll be great. He is a basketball guy. He is all about it. Love his family. It'll be a little bit more offensive than Coach Cross. Again, it'll all depend on who he can keep off the roster, who he can bring in from the transfer portal if he loses anybody from the roster. And I'm really interested in his assistant coaches. He's coached in the Big 12. He's coached in the ACC. He's coached in the SEC. He's coached in the Ohio Valley Conference. He's coached in the Sun Belt. He's got a wide, extensive net. So he'll have the resources to hire a good staff. He'll have he's got the network to hire a good staff. And I think he'll stand a good chance of keeping a lot of the players that have helped make Troy successul over the last several years.
Glad to hear that. Good stuff. Barry, does the College Football Playoff Committee still meet outside of Dallas when they get together?
I think that's where their headquarters are.
So the reason I asked, somebody wanted to know if there was a Waffle House near there so Malzahn could go.
Oh, my gosh. Is that still – I mean, it was never funny. Hey – Gus likes Waffle House. So what?
It seemed to be really humorous to guys like
enough of that. People were like, "Hey, say it again, Huh, Gus, Waffle House. Oh, Bert's Chili. Oh, well, Scatter Scramble."
I think
people thought it was a dang panic, and I don't understand it.
If I remember correctly, Danny from Margaritaville found it very humorous that Gus went to Waffle House a lot.
Yeah, he'd bring it up all the time.
Yeah.
But then again, Danny, when they opened up a Buc-ee's in Auburn, because I had used to live in Auburn, I mean, you never know about Danny's sense of humor. By the way, the upcoming college football playoff national championship.
Yep.
Another suggestion that they have taken from John and have not credited him in. It will be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, why not?
Year.
Now the next one, why don't they have the SEC championship game in New Orleans? I've always wondered about that, or media days for that matter. What's it against the Crescent City that they don't want to go down there and hold events there? I don't know what the deal is there. So, all right, when we get back, we're going to keep it rolling here. Keep those chats coming on our River Region Straw chat line. Some good ones coming through here today. Always appreciate that. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com. will join us at the bottom of the hour in about 11 minutes. Travis Ryer on YouTube talking Tide at the top of hour number 2.
He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. This is Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. Back at it here, about 22 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday with Longshore and McKnight. Glad to see Robbie from Greenville's up with us early today, letting everybody know how he listens to Braves games. Can you still do that?
Yeah. Ben Ingram is he is outstanding. He says, I listen to the Braves on 680 The Fan app, which is the flagship station. Yeah. I got the MLB app, Robbie, and I think I spend $9 a year to listen to it. You got to spend like $150 a year to be able to watch it, and I'm not doing that. Ooh. But yeah, you can listen to the Braves on the MLB app. Can I give a shout out?
Yeah,
it doesn't sound full of humility or anything like that. But if you're watching us right now, if you're not watching us on full screen, which is the way to watch us, get our big heads even bigger on your big screen. If you're watching it, say on your computer, and you're looking over there on the chat line, look up here. You see that number up there where it says show number? Can you see that, John?
Wow, look at that. Yes.
Number 400.
That's
400.
Amazing. That is amazing.
We made 400. Of course, we have a Maroon 5 song, which I ain't a big fan of Maroon 5, but our buddy Gurn Jr., he picks out the song titles, and you got to have a wide range out over there. But 400 episodes, John.
Now, is this a song title or a group?
No, there was the Animals who did House of the Rising Sun with lead singer Aaron Burton. That was 60 years ago.
When I was in college,
this
there was
Animals. This is from Maroon 5.
Oh, see, I wouldn't even know. Yeah, I don't know that. There was a college band back in my day known as the White Animals. They were very popular. They would come play at Lee's Tomb on Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. because you couldn't sell beer in Tuscaloosa on Sunday when I was in school, so all the bars opened up at 12:01.
They tell me that's the way it was in Troy back in the day, and it's only been recently that they've done that. So the White Animals would play Lee's Tomb on Monday morning,
12:01. That's when it opened.
And if you took a selfie then, it'd probably look like John and his wife's selfie at the Braves game.
Yeah.
Who's going in it? Who's waiting until, man, you just wait. It's Sunday night. It's about to get rocking when it hits midnight over at Lee's Tomb.
Things were kind of slow. It was kind of a I remember that Sundays were just dull and boring. I mean, you had a big Friday night, big game on Saturday, then Sunday popped up, and it was just like, what happened? Man, it's Dullsville around here.
Yeah, the
study. What do you mean go study? What are we doing that for?
Episode number 400, John.
Amazing.
We had no doubt we'd get there. We had no doubt. We're confident people in ourselves and in the setup and in the support that we had. You guys are great. 400
really appreciate
episodes.
That.
Yeah, you guys
now, Theotis says
great.
He watches Maria on his 70-inch TV, so he must put us in the bottom corner while he's got Maria. That's Fox Business, I believe, in the morning.
Yeah.
So, hey, at least we're part of your day, Theotis. At least you're carving off a little bit of Longshore McKnight.
He's got to have us on the laptop because he chats so much. I mean,
true.
He's not doing it on TV like ding, 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 enter, Maria Bartiromo.
Yeah.
So he's listening to us. Obviously, he's not watching us. He's watching Maria.
I mean, the market hadn't even opened yet, Theotis. What do you do? What's going on?
I don't think it matters to him. I don't think it matters to him. I think Maria could just stand there, and Theotis would have her on the. Is she even saying anything, honey? What is she saying about the market? No clue.
No, not that people watch Fox News because they have a lot of attractive female hosts, which they do. I don't consider Maria to be overly attractive. I mean, she is in her own way, but she's very smart. So
she's no Linda Cohn.
Well, no, she's not. But she's very smart. I will say that. She knows her stuff. Now, Charles Payne's my favorite on Fox Business. He comes on at 1. Charles is outstanding. Love Charles Payne. He's really good.
Couldn't tell you there.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's got a book out. If you, he'll send it to you for free. Unlimited Prosperity or something like that's the name of the book. But yeah, I like Charles. He's good. What do you think about you? Oh, see, so does Theotis. He thinks.
Yeah. He also says it's not called the Fox Network for nothing. Which I've heard that before.
Yeah, Charles is the man. Yeah, I hear you, Theotis.
There you go. 400. We're very happy about that.
Yes,
that's another. That's another landmark
episode. It began mid-August of 2 years ago, I believe. This will be our 3rd anniversary coming up in August. Is that true?
That is true. That is true. There's other things going on, of course. NCAA Final Four is set, and I'm getting a little bit tired. I said something about this yesterday.
Ooh.
I'm getting a little bit tired of the national, not outrage, but kind of making fun of my buddy David Shoemate, who's as nice a human being as there is on the planet, and a great David Shoemate is the radio voice of the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah.
They took that dagger against UConn in the final third of a second, the steal and the 3.
Ooh,
and he mentioned that so-and-so Smith ran out on the court. That should be a technical. That was but they're not going to call it. UConn leads, and they're skewering him for that. Are you telling me that that's the wrong thing to do? That you don't? Because
can I just
Stan White does it, and people think he's a legend.
I
can't believe they're not going to call that penalty. It's right in front of that referee and everything, and people are like, "Oh, feed that into
something about maybe Saban gets preferential treatment." I think I heard Stan say something about that.
Yeah. You guys lap it up. Even the Bama fans are like, "Yeah, that's music to my ears. Keep it coming, Stan." David Shoemate, he just says, "Hey, that guy ran on the court." He didn't say, "Hey, what are you doing?" No, it's just what an injustice. He just mentioned it. Should be a technical, but they ain't going to call it. And it wasn't a foul. It wasn't a technical. The guy was actually just checked in.
Say, let me just, hypothetical here. Just say Bama and Auburn are playing in a Final 8 matchup in the NCAA tournament, and Aiden Holloway pre-arrest, hits the 25-footer, and a couple of Bama players jump off the bench and run onto the court. Is Andy not going to say anything about that?
If he did, and he would, yes, he would. If he did, John would be right there in the driver's seat of his Stivers Ford vehicle, hooping and hollering about it. There you go, Andy. Way to go. Because at that point, y'all guys in the living room, knock yourself out and everything. Save me some chicken wings.
Yeah,
but
I'm coming back.
I'm going to the car. So yeah,
that's too
and you
good.
guys would love that stuff. People are saying, listen to the Duke announcers. Why? I think it's because it's Duke. I don't think if I'm David, who I love, I wouldn't take it personally.
Well, I'm with you
there.
People
love to absolutely dog the Duke Blue Devils, and
I was just kind of kidding around, and I mentioned it yesterday, Barry. I was watching that final shot with a group of guys, and it happened, and we're all trying to think out, wow, man, unbelievable, what a finish, 0.3 of a second. And I just casually said, well, I don't know, since it's Duke, they might put 20 seconds back on the clock. They all laughed, thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, Duke kind of maybe gets a little. The announcers love them. The announcers love them. The halftime guys, the studio guys love them. I think that's what kind of rubs people the wrong way that aren't Duke fans. I'm tired of you talking about. Believe it or not, Barry, some people out there thought that a football program got that type of treatment back in the day, but I never saw it.
I think that, there were a lot of people out there who had turned the game off because Duke was winning so big and they didn't want to see it, and it kind of cut the viewership at the end. Unlike the Rose Bowl, where a team was getting the absolute dog snot kicked out of them, and the viewership kept rising and rising. Hey, guys, you hearing? Alabama's getting whipped. Oh, hang on. What channel? This kind of, I think, are they applicable? Are they comparable? Alabama football and Duke basketball and their ability to divide the national public? Because there's very few people out there, John, who say Bama football, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
People really love the Tide, like they named their kids Saban and Crimson and all this kind of stuff, or they absolutely hate their guts. I lived amongst a large group of people who hated them with every breath they took in their entire life. So, from Coach Ed. Great example. Mount Cody throwing his helmet off after blocking the Tennessee field goal. No penalty. Saban looked the other way. That wasn't even an Auburn game. That was Tennessee. People were screaming about that, including the Auburn color announcer. That is true.
So
that is probably good on you, Coach, because that is probably the best comparison to the reaction of the Duke radio announcer saying, hey, you went on the court.
Was the game not over when Cody blocked that field goal?
Oh, I know. I'm not talking about the football aspect of it.
Yeah,
I'm talking about everybody said, hey, wait, come on, wait a minute. That shouldn't have happened. That should be that's what Duke and Alabama do to you. I'm telling you. Well, coming back, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com. He's next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Get Truck Month deals on more than trucks at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Explorers for $13,000 off. Broncos $12,000 off. Expeditions $10,000 off. And Bronco Sports $9,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Ford Truck Month is bigger and better at Stivers Ford of Montgomery. Take advantage of 0% APR on Super Duties, Lightnings, and F-150s. F-150s, $18,000 off. Super Duties, $2,000 under invoice. And Lightning, $16,000 off.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Okay, back at it about 26 minutes till the top of the hour. Our man, Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, is here with us as he is each and every Tuesday. Brian, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, guys. Good morning.
All right, a buddy of mine, he's a bus driver for Troy baseball. He took us back from Hattiesburg, and he had to hurry up the next day and get to Auburn because he's taking the Auburn band and the cheerleaders via bus to Indianapolis. They're fired up about it. There we go. I like that. How big of a deal is the semifinals of the National Invitation Tournament? Not necessarily in terms of the fans, but in terms of the development of the program.
Yeah, I think that's where it is a big deal. You know, I don't think anybody's pretending that this is the Final Four in the NCAA tournament, but I think this run that Auburn's made, 3 wins, has already helped out, right? It's helped with the development of certain players. We've seen Jovic really step up and play well in more of a starting role. We've seen Elijah Freeman continue his development from in the season. He's played, I think it's 116 of 120 minutes so far, something like that, in all 3 games combined. So he is really, really, in there doing it all defensively and offensively. And I think Sebastian Williams-Adams has continued to, his development forward. He's not putting up huge points, but I think that's something. I think that's a leap he's going to take going into next year. But overall, I think it's been a positive for Stephen Pearl too, right? To kind of set aside some of the negativity at the end of last season, losing 8 of 10 in the regular season. So all in all, I think it ended up being a plus for Auburn. I think it was the right decision to play in this tournament, and we'll see if maybe they can bring home a championship, so to speak.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of people have wondered, even with teams that are in the NCAA tournament, Brian. I mean, once you're done, people are asking the question, well, what's this team going to look like next year? How many of these guys coming back? I think you just got to get used to that. But in Auburn's case, how do you think this roster will look next year?
Well, I think that's the most interesting thing, just because, Auburn may want to bring back Freeman, Pettiford, Jovic, Williams-Adams. I'm probably missing somebody. KO, Kevin Overton. But, they've all got agents. They've all got other teams that might be interested in them. So, it's going to come down to money. How much does Auburn have to offer? How much are they willing to pay a certain player to come back or not? So it makes it much more tougher. And then there's some hard decisions that will have to be made over the next week or so.
Since we last talked, with that in mind, Brian, Auburn's hired a new basketball general manager. That's his deal, right?
Brian Cloman. From Louisville. Yeah, he will be front and center with that now, be organizing it. The whole staff is going to participate in it, of course, but he's going to help make sure they're in the right place at the right time. One thing that's really important in this time is not to wait for a kid to actually officially get to the portal. It's knowing the agents, knowing the families, getting the heads up so you get a head start on everybody else. If you just sit back and wait for something to happen, you're going to finish second, or which is basically last, or whatever for a kid. So you've got to be really, really aggressive in these situations, and having a guy like Cloman in is going to help Auburn do that.
Brian, our viewers are very have a very keen eye on our chat line. Somebody noticed you're not wearing a cap today.
Yeah, I got a little hair up there. Yeah. Usually I just get up, put on a hat and come on the show, right?
Sure.
But I got to be over at the complex here in about an hour or so. So I went ahead and took my shower, got cleaned up. Now you can see my giant forehead on the screen, which I know everybody really enjoys.
Our viewers are very got a very keen eye. I'm
sure they only have great things to say about it. Very nice, well thought out wishes, and I just want to say thank you for all the nice thoughts out there.
How handsome he looks, that type of a thing. Let's talk about football. This past weekend, what was it like? I mean, was there scrimmage? I mean, like scrimmage? Was there, there was a lot of people back, some of the old guard Auburn folks as well. What was that all about this past weekend?
They had the, alumni players back for Saturday's practice. They are doing 11-on-11 basically every single practice, but they're not holding their first scrimmage till Thursday night.
Yeah.
They'll go at Jordan-Hare Stadium under the lights and do that. It'll be closed, and then we'll keep the goalless the next day. But scrimmage wise, I guess it'll be that one, and maybe one more before A-Day. And they don't have necessarily a plan spelled out for A-Day yet, but I think it's going to be a little bit more of a game as opposed to, some of the things we've seen in the past where you have the defense scores points this way and that way and such. They certainly have enough players to play an actual game.
Yeah, it seems like that's the trend that a lot of schools are going back to. Is that because of no transfer portal in the spring?
Partly, I think it's a lot to do with you have the portal in the January, right? So you fill your roster back up. All the high school players are now enrolling early. So instead of having, say, 50, 55 players in the spring, you've got a full 85 plus with these rosters also expanding to more than 85. So, yeah, I think that has a little bit more to do with it. And I'm very interested to see what happens with the no portal in the spring, because I'm sure some schools and some players are going to test that. And then it'll go into, a courtroom somewhere and get decided.
Mm-hmm. Two-part question here, because I talked with somebody who's not in your business. He's just a person, and he was asking me about this. He had been to one of the viewing sessions. I don't know how he got in, but he said that the big difference, and everybody's talking about, things are so different now than they were under Freeze. One of the biggest differences he saw in practice was energy.
Yeah,
is that
I
legit?
think attention. Yeah, I think attention to detail. I think if you go back last year and you went to a practice, and I went to several, and there were times when Coach Freeze would just let us stay the whole time almost, and you could see the energy on defense, the intensity, right? It wasn't, under Durkin, but it wasn't quite the same way in offense. It was kind of like two separate teams out there a lot, and it's not that way now. It's much more equal. Both sides of the ball are really getting after it. You feel that energy from the offense and the defense. So that definitely has changed in that respect. And I just think the organization is another thing I've heard from people who have attended a full practice, right? And the attention to detail, which is just, I think it's just who Golish is, right? I think he's a coach's coach. He's really into the fine margins, getting in, digging deep into the details of how everybody does their job on and off the field, including the players and its assistant coaches.
What about baseball?
Not good.
The Braves are 3-1. Is that what we're talking about?
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, shut up the A's yesterday.
We actually did talk to Braves earlier today.
Yeah,
I mean, Alabama.
Auburn baseball top 5. They go in and they get swept at Alabama.
They got their booties beat in, right? Mm-hmm. I would say from Alabama played well, right? They deserved it. I thought really a thing that gets overlooked before I get into Auburn is Auburn kicked the ball around. And I don't think Alabama committed an error. If they did, it wasn't a harmful one. And I think every one of Auburn's either errors or, say, a misplay, like letting a pop-up to, in front of the home plate drop for a double, right, which was a double in the game, but really is a mistake on Auburn's part. Auburn paid for all those mistakes. So that was a big part of it. So Alabama deserves credit for the way they played and for bouncing back from being swept opening weekend. That's a tough thing to overcome. From Auburn's perspective, they are not swinging the bats at all right now. This team is the exact opposite of what it was in the preseason and during fall ball, where they were swinging the bat really, really good. They looked like they were going to be one of the best offensive teams that I've covered. And you're kind of wondering, is this pitching staff going to come together? What's it going to look like? Is it going to have, a legit number 1 or number 2 starter? Flip the switch now. The pitching staff has been dominant. Auburn's got 5 or 6 guys that could be starters in the SEC. And the hitting has just really just fallen to pieces. I think when you have a team-wide slump like this, I think a lot of it's got to be mental, right?
Right.
And we also realize that baseball, these things can happen, and it can turn around, and Auburn can start getting it going. But right now, I think it's a disappointing start to SEC play for the lineup, the baseball lineup. They're really, really struggling in a lot of ways.
Question, another one specifically just now. Part of I had forgotten they called them this, the Freeze 4.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
3 of the Freeze 4 are gone. The only one back is Bryce Kane. Yep. What's his upside? What's his ceiling, Brian?
Well, he is probably one of the top 2 or 3, 4 fastest players on the team, maybe the fastest. And I think that this offense when it's really working well and you're trying to beat defenses over the top, right? I think he fits that pretty well, and he's a guy that can use that speed out of the slot. So I think he has an opportunity to be a big part of the playing rotation this season, and he really wasn't the first 2 years, right? So this is a great opportunity for him. I think he's probably right around the third or fourth guy in the rotation right now, and certainly on pace to be a major contributor this year. And you will not meet a nicer young man, more excited to be a part of this team and be at Auburn. Just a terrific young guy, and I think a lot of people are rooting for him for sure.
What UConn, very famously, they get into the Final Four in a miracle shot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, the women's team's going to win the national championship. I think it's the sixth time that UConn has had both their men and women in the Final Four in the same year. Their baseball team at UConn's really good. They've made a couple of really good hires in football, and their athletic director is a former Auburn associate athletic director, David
Benedict. Yep.
This is not to compare, but how is UConn getting it done, and Auburn has struggled so much?
Well, I think because of the league that they played in football, they can put more assets into other sports, and which they should. If you're UConn or you're a basketball school, you should put more money into that because that's what drives your program. I know overall football makes a lot more money than basketball, but still, not every school can fit that dynamic. So you need to switch it up a little bit. It's just kind of like some schools may put a little bit more into baseball, some may put more into women's basketball or volleyball or softball. Sports maybe they're really, really good in, and they want to continue to be good in that because they get, great fan participation and they play for national championships. So I think that's part of it now. I'm not sure about this yet, but I think in this era of revenue sharing and NIL, it's going to be tough for a program, maybe Texas or somebody, to really be good in a whole bunch of sports at one time. I just feel like, you got to put a majority of your money into football if you're a Power 4 type school, and then try to spread it out and maybe focus on a couple other programs that you think can be good.
I can tell you one school that doesn't put any money into women's basketball, and that's Alabama, because their coach was 2 points away from making the Sweet 16, and the next day she's at South Florida because she ain't got any money. They spent the least amount of money of any school in the league. I don't see fans kicking and screaming and protesting. Hey, what'd you do that for? Bottom line, I think you're right, Brian. I think athletic directors look at the overall picture and go, this is all we can give you. You got to make the most of it with what you can. We got to put our money in football, men's basketball, revenue-producing sports. And, man, if you get something going down there, we're all for you, but this is all we can give you.
Yeah. I agree with that, but I do think like a school like South Carolina, why not give that women's basketball team a little bit more, because you're putting booties in the seats, right? People are excited about it. It's competing for national championships. So I still think that's an opportunity for certain programs at certain schools.
Yeah, no doubt. And South Carolina, I believe, spends the most of any school in the SEC. And certainly they get a return on it. I totally agree with that.
And you look at Alabama, softball has been really, really good, right? Gymnastics. So why not throw them a little extra bone, right, to keep those programs up at a really high level? And Auburn, baseball has been really good, right? I know they didn't play really good this weekend, but overall they've been really, really consistently good.
Final question that I've got. Have you noticed, we're talking about the tone of the football team and the practices and stuff and how it differs. What about recruiting visits for football? Have you noticed or heard any anecdotal evidence about whether or not that has changed one way or the other?
Yeah, I don't have like a fact like they brought in five stars and 24 stars, but what I have noticed is that I've been surprised by the number, the amount, and the quality of kids, recruits visiting Auburn. That's 27, 28 classes here over the last month plus. They've really done a great job. I think when they first hired Golish, I thought he's a football coach first, and we'll see how recruiting works out. But the recruiting so far to me has been really impressive. Now, we'll see what it looks like in May and June when these kids come back for official visits. They start making decisions and start committing. But I think Auburn has positioned itself to sign a really, really good first full class under Golish.
Brian, what are you hearing out there about what high school coaches are saying, excuse me, about Golish? Because to me, that's a good gauge. If high school coaches are talking them up, say, man, these guys are busting it. Man, we're seeing a lot of them, whatever it may be, compared to, Freeze and Harsin and Malzahn in the group.
That's a great question. It's a shame I have not spoken to a high school coach here in the last few weeks, so I don't have an answer for it. I will say, though, on a similar line there, I will say the fact that, 13 total players followed him from USF, that most of his staff followed him from USF. I think that says something about Alex Golish and the type of man he is, the type of coach, the type of leader he is. So, but that's something that would be worth checking into, right? Because we are about to hit that recruiting where it really starts to pick up. People start talking about those relationships and how important it was. And a couple of coaches ago, Auburn really dropped the ball when it came to high school football relations with the head coach. And I don't think Golish is that type of guy. I think he's the exact opposite, and that'll be important for him. I know he's already spoken to a clinic or two so far in front of coaches, which is something that a previous coach was unable to do.
I don't see. The only thing I disagree with that on, Brian, is the phrase "drop the ball." He spiked the ball in the trash can, got the trash can liner, tied it up, threw it out the window of a moving vehicle. I think that's probably a little bit more applicable to.
I agree. That's a good point,
coach. Yep. What about auburnsports.com? You guys have got so many resources, such a great staff, and you guys don't sit around very much. There's always content that people need to partake in. How do they do it?
Yeah, I'm heading out to practice as soon as we get off, and going to have some practice video. We'll have player interviews, stories, photo galleries, updates on who's at first team, at left guard, all those little details you kind of like to get into at this time of year. I'll be at the baseball game later tonight in Atlanta against Georgia Tech as Auburn tries to bounce back there. Of course, we got basketball Thursday night. We got a scrimmage Thursday night that's closed, but we'll try to get some intel anyway and have that. And then this weekend, we got a big Arkansas series, softball. I think I covered everything. All that and more, auburnsports.com. Follow me on Twitter, /X at BMattAU.
Brian, as always, man, we appreciate your time. As always, a great visit on Tuesdays. We'll talk next week.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Great stuff. Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com.
I'm on team no cap with Brian.
Yeah.
No cap. He has to get up early,
Barry, I didn't really notice till I'm looking at the River Region Straw chat line. I'm going, boom. Wow, look at that. Our viewers really watch closely.
Our boys up here on the chat line, man, they don't miss anything. Hey, John, what's that in the background? Hey, Barry, your pillow in your hotel room is scrunched up. You guys are sharp-eyed, and we appreciate that. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. Many well-known restaurants in the River Region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Hey, where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light. Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here? Oh, Bud Light there. I missed that because of you. You did not miss that play because of me. Tough to stop talking this way? Yeah. It's actually kind of fun. Hey, I got your Bud Light. Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. What I miss? I have no idea.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the river region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs. Hey, Kenny's crew's coming over to Phantom Enterprises for a little pre-Easter pine straw spread. They delivered some beautiful pine straw yesterday. The guys are coming by, I guess, later today and spread it around, make it look good for the family and friends that'll be coming over during the Easter holiday. I don't like Aunt Edna giving me any crud about my place not looking good. So she has no reason to say anything because it's going to look top notch. And the neighbors up and down the street are going to be jealous. Hate it for you, but just give Kenny a call or text today and your place can look just as good as mine. 669-5959. Call or text Kenny today. 669-5959. He'll get your Easter pine straw spread done before the Easter bunny shows up.
That's exactly right. Your old, tired, flat pine straw, you can't hide eggs in there. Come on. Get you some premium long needle pine straw, and you'll be pulling eggs out for 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
And it ain't that she's saying anything, but she'll walk by onto your porch and into the house, and she'll be, I know. And she says, "What? You forget Kenny's phone number?" No, I meant to call him. I'll call him right now.
Easy to do. There's no doubt about it. Of course, obviously, doing great things with their newest location in Chelsea on 280, up there near the Birmingham area, that people are taking advantage of that. My daughter lives in that part of the state as well, so it's very convenient for her and everybody up there. So, yeah, Montgomery, Prattville, Auburn, and now on 280 in Chelsea. River Region Straw, 669-5959. Good stuff.
If anybody out there continues to subscribe to the absolutely false notion that John is a little bit shoot from the hip, a little bit, off the cuff, and, speak his mind, dang the consequences and all that, I refer you back to our visit just now with Brian Matthews. Brian, I've known him even before I started working with John. I've known him even before he started working with auburnsports.com. Well, actually, I did know him right whenever we met because he used to be a listener to this program back when he lived in Montgomery. One of my best friends. Love that guy. And, he is Auburn. He went to school there, met Yvonne, his wife there, and all that stuff. But this wasn't even an Auburn topic. But I salute my co-host for giving him a chance to speak his mind when we're talking about, the length and breadth of an athletic department. Because the athletic director at UConn, a guy named David Benedict, was the associate number 2 AD at Auburn for a good little bit.
Didn't Rhett Lashley coach the football team up there?
No.
At UConn? Was he not the UConn head coach at one time?
No.
Before he went to SMU?
Rhett Lashley?
The head coach at SMU, when he left Auburn, did he not go to UConn? I thought he did. He didn't go from Auburn to SMU, did he?
I don't know. I don't know. I know he's never been the head coach at UConn, though. Anyway, the point is that we were talking about UConn. It's the 6th time that their men's team is in the Final Four and the women's team is in the Final Four.
Okay.
At the same time. Women's team's going to win it. The top 4 seeds in the women's tournament, the Final Four, are the same teams that were in the Final Four last year, and every one of them has just dominated. Every one of them has won every game in the tournament by 10 points or more. These are the 4 best teams, and UConn's better than all of them. They'll win it. and the men's team, barely gets into the Final Four, but they're in. They're tremendous. They've won back-to-back NCAA tournaments under their current coach. Football's doing well. Baseball is underrated. They don't play in a league like the SEC. Brian's right about that. But you look at them and you look at all that, and then you look over at John Cohen, who I like fine.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying, come on now, football. Wait a minute, basketball. We're okay. We're all right. We're all right. But will we make the Final Four ever again? Women's basketball has been a difficulty for a while. Baseball is great. Baseball is good, even though they got swept. But man, look at UConn. How is that former Auburn AD, associate AD, doing so well at UConn, and we're struggling? He's right about that. He's right about the
about a lot of programs, and Rhett Lashley was the offensive coordinator at UConn.
There you go. Yeah. But
set up myself, Barry.
That doesn't count, though. That doesn't count. Hey, he once coached there at one point, so I'm right.
Yeah.
But my point is that Brian said, well, a lot of the reason why UConn is successful, if you were listening closely, is because they don't play in as competitive a league as Auburn does. So they pretty much blow through the whatever conference they're in.
So
and they can spend some of their resources on some other things. And he says, when you think about it, you ought to throw a bone to some of your other programs. UConn women's basketball has been great. John was actually the one who started it. He brought up South Carolina women's basketball, who, if anything, UConn's been the dominant program, but not lately. I mean, South Carolina's won 3 championships in like the last 6 years, and they throw a little extra money at them. And Brian says, well, they kind of deserved it. Why not throw them a little extra money? Alabama softball has been doing really well. Why not, throw them a bone now and again? And John let him go on with that. John let him say that, because John's thinking, wait a minute, throw them a bone because they're doing well? Brian, they ain't making any money. What are you talking about throwing them a bone? Rewarding them for success on the field? The heck with success on the field.
So I hear this.
Are they having any success on the ledger sheet? That's the only. John let Brian go through about, they've been doing so well in it. Why not give them a little extra, because their success dictates, that they might have earned a little more support. John says, success? What do you mean, like winning and losing? What about financial success?
Boom. Bottom line, because if you're in the red, somebody's going to be knocking on your door saying,
I don't care if you go 37-0 in women's basketball and win every game by 15 points. If you're not making us any money, you ain't getting it. What, practice gym? Wait a minute. You want us to revarnish the practice gym floor?
I mean, hey, you saw what happened to the Alabama women's coach. They're 2 points away from making the Sweet 16, and next morning she's in Tampa, Florida, because the way I see it, they're not spending any money on women's basketball in Tuscaloosa. I could be wrong, but
he doesn't think
I think she's thinking maybe I can do better somewhere else with maybe some more financial resources down with the Bulls of South Florida. I don't know, but
John let him go, and respectfully listen and everything. Didn't agree with a word of it, but he let him say his piece.
And I know athletic directors. I think it's interesting, Barry, and Travis Ryer is joining us now. Ryer on YouTube talking Tide, but I'm sure athletic directors around the country hear this all the time. Now wait a minute, this school's able to do it. Why can't we? And I'm sure athletic directors, kind of rubbing their forehead going, if I had $1 for every time I heard that. I think it's a lot harder than they do it. Why can't we do it? Travis, how you doing this morning? Thanks for joining us here today.
How's it going, guys?
It's going better for us than it is for Tiger Woods, actually, right now, to be honest.
Yeah. Not good.
What's the story with him, Travis?
Boy, that's the $1 billion question, maybe you could call it. We talked about it on Kart Golf last night on Ryer on YouTube. is there anyone in his life that can have an authentic, real conversation with him? Obviously, it starts with him.
Yep.
But is there anyone around him? Maybe his two kids that can, help him find that avenue, that path to get to wellness, because I think we're all in agreement that is the root cause of everything we've seen. And we've seen it in the past in golf. Look at Phil Mickelson.
Yep.
Demons, icons trying to deal and live in a civilian world. They sometimes struggle with it, but that's not an excuse. You're 50 years old now, right? I mean, this isn't 28-year-old Tiger or even 38-year-old Tiger. The key to the thing right now is maximizing the time you have on this planet as much as you can, not trying to live up to or be Tiger Woods from 20 years ago. I mean, because that's due to his own issues, his own doing. That window's been closed, right? So you just hope that that somehow, some way, the message eventually hits home, and he can just get to a level of wellness that's going to allow him to maximize his time here.
The first thing I thought of, Travis, is, hey, Tiger, get a driver. Have somebody drive you around. Get a car service. And then I hear, well, these celebrities and whatnot, they don't want people knowing what they're doing in their private life. Well, maybe there's one of the problems. Maybe you need to clean up and change what you're doing in your private life. Number two, I think there's probably enough money in Tiger Woods' bank account that he can probably pay a driver a lot of money, not only to drive him around, but to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, he's got enough money to go horse and carriage, from Palm Beach to Pittsburgh if he wanted to. So absolutely. I mean, it's not a financial thing. It goes back to what you talked about. Yeah, I understand. You want privacy, and not just in terms of even just the things maybe you aren't doing that aren't exactly good for you, but just anything that can be. He is such a central focus as a icon. Again, one of the top two or three of my lifetime. I mean, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, those two you can put up there in the top five for sure. But absolutely, it's got to really come from deep within at this point, because we've heard the lip service from Tiger. We've heard the mea culpas and those type of things for mistakes he's made. And this isn't to be judgmental of him, because we all have our issues on a day-to-day basis that we have to try to beat back. But again, just for the sake of, even if it's just for his two kids, which should be plenty.
Sure.
It got to have that honest discussion. You don't have to tell the truth to anybody really but yourself. You can't escape that. And it seems like he's really struggled with that.
Yeah, and the Masters is in 9 days on CBS. I don't know if they're going to touch this with a.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
I don't know. I think he moves the needle so much. If he wants to be there and he wants to, I don't think he's going to want to talk.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to want to do a lot of press if he's there. But I know there's still people that are convinced that he'll be there, and he kind of has something. He has the golf course situation up there that he's supposed to be in Augusta for. But I would be very surprised if we find him doing anything other than reading from a statement or reproducing a statement. And I don't see much Q&A unless it's very much controlled, maybe in a situation with CBS and Nance, something like that.
I'm going to save this question later if we have time, but we got to get to Alabama and Michigan. Michigan in the Sweet Six, in the Elite Eight, beats Alabama by 13 points. Alabama had a lead at halftime, and then Michigan just squeezed them to death. Your take on that, and what that means to the Alabama program, if there's a larger message there.
Well, big picture wise, it's a fifth Sweet 16 in the last 6 years. So kind of like if you're Tennessee and you got your doors blown off by Michigan in the 8, it's unfortunate. It didn't feel particularly good, I'm sure. But in 10 years from now, when you look up at the rafters at Thompson Bowling Arena, there's still going to be that Elite Eight for 2026. So I think this team, in terms of its ceiling, I felt like for a while the Sweet 16 was pretty much it. Mostly because eventually the matchups, the draw doesn't work in your favor. I felt like in the first 2 rounds it was pro UA in terms of Hofstra and Texas Tech. But you knew once you got to the 16, barring chaos, like with a Florida, they kind of caught the wrong bracket. If they could have caught the South bracket with something like Florida, they had the potential to go beyond the 16 in all likelihood. Because they could have seen in Illinois. They beat Illinois earlier in the season. But yeah, if it went to chalk for the most part, you knew a matchup with an Arizona, a Michigan, a Florida, one of those kind of teams, especially complete teams with a lot of size and capable size, that was going to be the inroad for Alabama this season.
And even though that they were eliminated last week, it didn't take Greg Byrne long to get on social media with a nice photo of himself and Nate Oates. Nate Oates with the Yay Alabama sweatshirt on, a little message there as well, saying that, hey, he's good. He's not going anywhere. I'm sure that calmed the fan base down.
It did, and it also, like you said, Yay Alabama, that wasn't a coincidence. I don't think, hey, we need to kick it up with our NIL. We're bottom half of the SEC, and we're making Sweet 16s pretty much on an annual basis. But, yeah, I felt like between that from Greg Byrne on his X account and then also seeing how Duke went out on Sunday, it turned out not to be the worst of weekends for Alabama. There were actually fans and teams and programs that certainly had worse weekends than Alabama. And so, yeah, you feel good about, at least in an era where everyone associated with your program at Alabama has a decision to make. And it's not just the NBA potential with obviously Phylon, who was great in his last game against Michigan, but also Amari Allen. Your whole roster has a decision to make in this era of college basketball. Other than the guys you're losing due to eligibility expiration. But your coaching staff too, because Nate now has developed a reputation for his guys going and getting head coaching jobs. So there's a lot to sort of take into account here in the coming days and weeks.
In the NIL era that we live in, the financial era that we live in terms of college athletics, your daughter played intercollegiate basketball, played basketball on the college level.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's got a pretty good women's team, but they're not spending any money on it. They were at the bottom when it comes to spending in the SEC. Their head coach moved on. I got to think that's the reason she did. But what do you do, Travis? I get it. If I'm Greg Byrne, I got to make sure my football and my men's basketball, my revenue-producing sports are getting everything they can, and I can make as much money as I can to help these other programs. But I just wonder, not just Alabama, but schools all over the country, I don't see how they do it. And I get it. South Carolina's got a great women's team, and they're great baseball teams in other places and this, that, and the other. But I just don't see how you can fund so many sports and do it at a top-notch level, particularly at a school like at Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it with the men's program. If you're a perennial Sweet 16 program and you're in the bottom half of the league in NIL, what do you think your women's program is going to look like? And I don't know this. A couple of things with Chrissy Curry. It may be that number's even going to shrink more for women's basketball. To your point, it may not be the high water mark. This may be the high water mark for the future. We don't know. Christy was 13 years into her tenure at Alabama. Over the back half of that, especially, was really, really good. Turned the program into more of a NCAA tournament, not just relevant team, but a team that could win a round or two, move a round or two. Now, as a 13-year coach there, she had achieved vested status in the state of Alabama pension situation. And you also got to take into account her husband, Kelly, is her top assistant.
Right.
So they hit that twice. So they were in a good spot from that perspective. She's 60-ish years old. Here comes South Florida, Tampa. You're starting to look down the road maybe a little bit. Not a bad place to be. They come with a real commitment that is, by all accounts, maybe top 25-ish, a top 25 program, relative sort of offer. You get a 5-year deal. You're going to get you're getting your pension from the UA system, from the state. Now they're going to hit you with $800K or so as the head coach. They're coming with a bigger assistance pool than you had at Alabama, which your husband's going to be a part of. So now as a husband or a wife-husband duo, you're looking in excess of $1 million a year to coach basketball at USF. And then you've still got, you're double dipping too, with the pension situation. So when you start to add some things up, it makes a lot more sense. It is, though. It's going to be tough for Christy or whoever else takes that job to kind of sustain what she had done in all likelihood. So it will be. It'll be very fascinating to see who they hire and also how they sort of navigate that situation in general.
For all of your financial planning advice, it's at Travis Ryer. That's well done. Let me ask you about this then. Since we're talking about that, earlier this week it cropped up that Michigan star Yaxel Lindeborg, who was fantastic and was great at UAB for 2 years, he said he went into the transfer portal wanting, for Alabama to recruit him, and they never did, and that kind of hurt his feelings. Nate Oates was asked about it. He says, we took a look at it and made a phone call or two and decided we weren't going to be able to do that. He's talking about money there too, isn't he, Travis?
Yeah, I think that lines up. I think that probably perspective checks out. I mean, if you want 25-year aged ribeye, you don't go to Dollar General to pick it up, and if you don't have the cash, you're not getting that steak. So I think that probably lines up with how it went down. I mean, look, good for the Big Ten. I think they're flexing it right now in terms of those numbers because it's showing up, not just in college basketball, but college football. And so the arms race, the financial race, looks like the Big Ten is taking care of business there, so to speak.
Boy, yeah, I would say so. All right, what's happening on the football front? Spring practice is back at it after a spring break, going at it. Obviously, areas that we've talked about, the quarterback competition, the offensive line, the new faces there. Hearing some positives, though, Travis, particularly in the secondary. People feeling good about this secondary on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, they should, not just in terms of talent, but now you've got 4 or 5 guys that have played a lot of football the last year or two in that system. So it absolutely should be a point of optimism. And sounds like it's sort of playing out that way, although you heard good things about the offense coming out of that first scrimmage. Now, without context and knowing ones versus twos or ones versus ones and how controlled those scrimmages are, who knows? But I hear offensively that the quarterbacks have looked about like you had hoped. I hear Austin Mack continues to show that he has more room to grow. So sort of the belief that Keelan Russell might be a little bit behind going into spring with Austin Mack, but when you consider his upside and all of the physical attributes that he brings, he's going to be tough to contend with. And it still may play out that way, but through about the first half of spring drills, I've heard some good things about Austin Mack. So we'll see how that continues to play out. And look, Austin Mack, 6'6". He's a prototype type guy. He has all the arm strength, and he's more athletic than you think. He's not a redwood in there. This isn't Dan McGuire, Mark's brother from San Diego State.
San Diego State.
How about that out there with old heads?
Yeah.
Wake up, old heads.
Man, he went shoulder deep into the bag for that.
Yeah. That's a name that should have been a star in an action series back in the 80s, right?
No.
Dan McGuire.
I love it. That is awesome.
But yeah, I've heard good things. And look, the Ryan Coleman Williams buzz has been positive, I think, to this point. The sort of bounce back, the snap back that he needs going into his third year. Running back, I continue to worry about that a little bit. EJ Crowell with, not being able to get the reps you would like him to get, especially at this point in his career. It's not a serious situation, it doesn't sound like, but it's still, he's a guy that I'm sure you wanted to get heavily acclimated through 15 practices this spring. Yeah. I mean, there's good stuff about Daniel Hill and leaning up, but boy, that was a very underwhelming situation. It wasn't just the offensive line. They could not create yards for themselves in 2025, and they've got to get more of that out of the running backs this year.
Oh boy, no doubt. Right. I triple treat here, Barry. How about this? With par 3 driver guy, we get a 9-hole match. We get a chicken salad update with way too many grapes.
Chicken salad looks absolutely on point. I haven't had a chance
you like the grapes, Barry?
I don't. I'm not a big grape guy.
I don't like whole grapes. I mean, put slivers in there. Quarter it up.
I said in the review, this was like Napa Valley between two pieces of bread. It was a damn vineyard.
Too much. The ratio is
and then you had the fruit cup on the side. You got enough fruit already.
I immediately had fruit cup remorse, because I had the damn fruit cup in the chicken salad. I could have got an extra side. The side was
when I eat chicken salad, I eat chicken salad. When I eat fruit, I eat fruit.
Yeah, but it's just not my thing. The grapes and cranberries and all that. That's just I'd just been in Arizona out there in Tucson, and we did one out there, and understandably, I expect grapes in the chicken salad. I'd have been surprised if there weren't grapes in the chicken salad in Arizona, but you come all the way back home to the warm embrace of the Southeast.
Yeah.
And boy, that thing was loaded with and I love grapes. I just don't like them in my chicken salad.
I'm with you.
So you won up, Travis. I wish I would have thought about this a couple of years ago. My number 2 daughter got married 2 years ago, and I wish I would have gotten a GoFundMe page as well.
Yeah, I need to get that going. You talk about sticker shock.
Woo!
I'm in sticker coma still.
Yeah.
They had to hit me with the defibrillator when they threw that at me.
I quit asking my wife. I said, well, how much is that going to be?
Well,
and finally one day she comes home and says, just think of everything in thousands. And I went, wow.
I mean,
really?
I took the Monty Hall, let's make a deal approach. How about curtain number 1? Might I interest you in curtain number 1? And no, we're doing it. Yeah.
See, Barry, not having a girl. See what we're having to go through here. Yeah.
Well, I've got 2. Yeah. This is just round 1.
Oh wow, Travis, I got another one coming too.
And this is the jock getting married, and it's killing me. The next one is Lady Di. Coming along, so it's going to be brutal.
If you're in Jacksonville and you go over there where 295 intersects South Jacksonville with 95 heading south, I hear there's a nice overpass there, Travis. It's nice and snug. It's warm in the wintertime.
It's only about 2 miles from where I'm sitting right now, so I could probably even sell my car and walk there.
Yeah, maybe where you're living in a couple of years. Final question, real quick. By the time we talk this time next week, the Final Four will be over. Who's winning it, Travis?
I mean, I'm staying with Arizona, but I got to tell you, I'm getting some 1990 UNLV vibes from Michigan after that run through Chicago. I mean, that was Capone-like, what they were able to do. And so Meyer Lansky, I guess, maybe with Chicago. It's hard to go against the Wolverines right now, but I'm staying with Arizona. I think it's a shame we're going to have that game in the semifinal. I think that should be a best-of-3 series. If you're Illinois and UConn, you're loving it. having them over there. But kind of like what I said with Alabama in matchups, Tennessee in matchups, ultimately the bill comes due. So I'm like everyone else. I'm going to be taking that winner of Arizona, Michigan to win it all.
Can I just say, as it says on the top of our screen, this is episode number 400 for us, and it's highly appropriate that on a landmark episode like this, we get a Dan McGuire, a Meyer Lansky, and an Al Capone from one guy on this show.
Unbelievable.
And talking chicken salad,
Chicken salad, yes. Yeah.
How'd that 9-holer go for you?
Well, the one with Sully is rough because he's a +1.
Oh yeah.
And so he's not good about giving strokes either, but he would give me a couple. I think in the 4 par 3s we played, I was 1 in 3, which against Sully, I'll take that because I mean he's going to make pars. So if he should birdie more of them, but yeah, it's rough. We're actually going to have a par 3 driver guy drop maybe today without the driver. So it's going to be like par 3 8-iron guy, which is sort of like Kiss without the makeup. So that's what we're going with.
You go
the next one.
Ask, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
It's like when, if Mr. Wrestling 2 back in the 70s had been unmasked by Dusty Rhodes.
All right.
Don Morocco. How about those references, Barry?
I'm telling you, Meyer Lansky and Mr. Wrestling number 2. Only Travis Reier, people. Only Travis. Reier on YouTube, Talking Tide second, helping No Sleep Teal, lots of other stuff as well. How do people access it?
Yeah, just check us out on Reier on YouTube, right there on YouTube. We had Cart Golf last night, obviously. A lot of discussion about Tiger and the PGA Tour. Bama Talk yesterday was pretty significant on the channel, so you can check it all out there. And also on X, at Travis Reier, TravisReier.
Outstanding. Travis, as always, my friend, thank you for your time. Always a lot of fun. We enjoy it.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Hi, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, grapes and chicken salad, Barry, grapes are big. It takes up too much space. And you got too many grapes in the chicken salad, you're getting less chicken, more grapes. Don't want it.
Yeah, the ratio is all important there. Yep. Almonds, fine, but only a few slivers. It should never overwhelm the chicken. Grape, I mean, you're sitting there eating it while you're doing something else, not thinking about, ooh, there's a grape. And it takes away from the entire chicken salad vibe, I think.
So Travis also has, I did know that. He has 2 girls, as I do. One of my daughters is married, probably got another one not too far off. Whew. It's a beautiful thing, Barry. It's just expensive.
Couldn't imagine. When my son got married, his wife, who is like 17 different kinds of awesome, they had an amazing wedding. And I'm looking around thinking,
I hear you.
How much? We'll take a break.
Let's do it.
Lots more still to come.
Oh, guess what's coming up? Oh, look at that.
Daily Dog.
Yeah.
Phantom's pounding at the door. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Hey, folks, how often do you think about your roof? Probably not often at all. I know I didn't until I needed a roof replacement. And I call my friends at Roof Life. Whether it's roof inspections, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, Roof Life is there for you. They use the highest quality products, top quality craftsmanship, and if you're like me, your roof can be replaced in one day. So if you're in need of a roof inspection, roof repair, or insurance roof replacement, get in touch with my friends at Roof Life today. You can go to roofyourlife.com. That's roofyourlife.com, or dial them up locally at 334-306-6712. That's 334-306-6712. 888-267-6712. All righty, back at it here about, 29 minutes past the hour. No way. Man, a lot going on here today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's half of our second hour is Travis Ryer. And the thing with Travis is he's so broad, with his we can talk golf, we can talk Alabama, of course, we can talk chicken salad. I mean, he's up for anything. So we appreciate that. Yes. Again, a little insight. In the 5 minutes before we start the countdown, John and I log in. Hey, what do you got? What's going on? Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's just John over there talking to himself.
Yeah.
Where's Philip got to say? Hey, I see you working there. All right, way to go. And you won the game out.
Oh, look at that.
Good for you. This was one of those mornings. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
As we get into the Phantom Daily Dog.
Yeah, we do it each and every day at this time. And we're going to take a look at, see what happened yesterday.
It was the association, if memory.
It was the association. It was the NBA. It was an early game, Barry. It was the early tip last night. Matter of fact, we were final on this game midway through the second episode of Law and Order on BBC America last night. So went to a commercial, checked the score, and went, "Whoa, look at that!"
Is Law and Order the one with Ice-T and Richard?
That's SVU. That's Law and Order SVU.
All right.
I like the old ones with Lenny and
Lenny, who was the dad in Dirty Dancing.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
All right. Yeah, I like that one the best, too.
Yeah, I like the old ones. And I like the older SVUs. The newer ones, I mean, I hate to say it, but who's the female on SVU? Marissa somebody?
Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah, she hadn't aged real well. She just hadn't aged as well. She was a lot more attractive back in the early seasons. Just saying. I mean,
who was it? I mean,
not trying to be offensive or anything. Don't take it the wrong way.
Pot, Kettle Black, check us out.
I mean, I think we've aged pretty well, if we do say so ourselves.
Yeah, but we're among the fortunate few.
I mean, I'm a little thinner up top, and it's a little grayer, but all in all, I mean, what do you do?
So what you had was a winner, and then Sam Waterston took care of business in the courtroom as a winner, too. So you had two winners by the time you were ready for the hot chocolate. And
20 to life. It was, it was a great episode. Excellent. All right, so we had the Heat hosting the 76ers last night down in Miami. The Heat were catching 2.5 at home. Huh.
I got to tell you, I didn't like that one.
Didn't like it, huh?
I didn't like it. I know 76ers were getting healthy. Embiid was back-ish, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that former Kentucky player Tyler Hero was going to lose his mind in that game offensively and just go nuts.
Yeah.
You got to take that into account.
You got to take that into consideration. You're right. It's a lot of things going on out there. So Miami wins the game outright, 119-109, a 10-point winner last night against the 76ers. Both these teams vying for playoff position. Tough loss for the 76ers. Hate it for them. But Miami went on to take the win by 10, cover the spread, all good.
The thing that I didn't take into account, and like many things, I didn't even read about this until after the game. Both of them are in, right? Comfortably in, 76ers, what do they got to play for down there? Well, Miami now is just a game and a half back of the Sixers.
Yep.
And now, with that getting a lot closer, Philadelphia also lost the season series now to Miami. So if it comes to a tiebreaker, then Miami has just won that. So it turns out they didn't. I mean, they did have a lot to play for.
It was a lot. You got to look for these little nuggets out there.
I did not catch that.
So how about this one tonight? This one is on NBC. NBC does Tuesday night NBA, if you haven't noticed.
That's right. Okay.
And so we've got a little NBA action tonight on NBC.
NBC.
And actually there's two games on NBC. The first one, the Knicks at the Rockets, followed by the Trailblazers at the Clippers. We're going to look at the New York-Houston game, 7 o'clock, where Houston, is a 2.5 point home dog. 2.5 point home dog are the Houston Rockets taking on the New York Knicks. And Barry, the Knicks are already in the playoffs, clinched a playoff spot. They've lost 2 in a row since then as well, just saying.
Yeah.
On the road at Houston in the 6th position in the Western Conference. They've won 2 straight, 5-5, their last 10. I don't know what their series record is against the Rockets and the Knicks. Guess I can look that up. But home, still scratching and clawing for better playoff position. Barry, they are half a game behind the Minnesota Timberwolves, 2 games behind the Denver Nuggets, looking for that better playoff position. A little bit more on the line for the Rockets tonight. They're so close to moving up. How in the world are the LA Lakers in the 3rd position in the Western Conference? I mean, they were like in 10th place a month ago.
I don't get it, honestly.
Well, they've won.
Do not get it.
3 in a row. Maybe they've won 9 out of their last 10. Maybe that has something to do with it. But let's get to the game tonight, 7 o'clock in Houston, where the Rockets are a 2.5 point favorite. We're taking them. We're taking Houston plus the 2.5 in a game we think can win outright. We'll take the 2.5 as a bonus against the New York Knicks tonight. That is your Phantoms daily dog. The Rockets plus 2.5.
There you go.
The Knicks.
There we go. One of our kind of barometers on whether somebody is a good guest or not is how they generate conversation after they leave. You know, we get that a lot from Senator Tuberville. We get that a lot from the Montgomery mayor, Stephen Reed. Those are good guests. You don't have to agree with them, but if they generate other stuff, hey, we're all for it. When we visited with Travis Reier and we're asking him about spring football at Alabama, Tobias says, if Austin Mack still hasn't separated from Keelan Russell in fall camp, go with Russell. That's at quarterback for Alabama. Bob from Pike Road says Bama will play both Mack and Keelan equally in the first couple of games, and the one who plays the best in those games will win the job. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm not saying Bob's wrong or anything like that. But, man, they need to make a decision before week 3.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think it would be interesting, or I think it would be beneficial if both these quarterbacks get a little real game action, I like to call it. And I think the schedule sets up for them to do that. We talked about the starting 5 a couple of weeks ago. Alabama's starting 5 are certainly 5 games they should win.
Well, when you say real game action, game action, does that mean East Carolina?
No.
I mean, is that a real game?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about I see you working there. I mean,
is my point.
A real game?
Is that a real game in the world of Longshore?
But I mean, they will stage it as a real game. You know, they'll have somebody
will sell tickets.
Yeah, somebody will get recognized at the first time out in the first quarter. Look in the north end zone. There's the Somerville family from Sylacauga. We want to recognize their contributions. Blah blah blah. Everybody claps. Yeah. Hey, it's the volleyball team. Let's give them a round of applause. They won the SEC or whatever.
And Elmer will look at his buddy Bubba and say, "Did they?"
Hell, I'll be.
Did they what? Did they win the SEC? No. Did they have a volleyball team? Yeah, they do.
So yeah, so they get a little game action. I've heard the same things about Austin Mack, that he's been in this system. He's picked up things. He's a little more comfortable. Still a little learning curve for Keelan Russell. But you're right. You cannot duplicate real game experience. And you never know. Keelan Russell might get in there in a game situation and light it up. I mean, hey, I tried to convince Charles Lee of that. He wouldn't bite.
No.
There's something about practice that's different about a game. And maybe Keelan Russell will, just show out in the game situation. But it would not shock me if Austin Mack is the starter. I think if you're wagering today, that's where you're putting your money. But it's early.
On that? Yeah.
It's early. Oh, I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
But it is extremely early. And, I was looking at some of these win totals, Barry. Our man John Talty, who's now at CBSSports.com.
Oh, okay.
Came out with his predictions.
Yeah.
Auburn at 6.5, Alabama at 8.5. I'm just going, man, you got to be kidding me. I mean, to me, 6.5 for Auburn just seems so low. But they got some tough games, particularly on the road, at Tennessee, at Georgia, at Ole Miss, at Alabama. Auburn's road conference schedule is brutal. I don't know if another team that's got a tougher road conference schedule than Auburn. I think Alabama catches some breaks because their road conference schedule at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, at Vanderbilt, without Diego. So to me, Bama catching a big break on their SEC road schedule. But they got Georgia, A&M, and LSU at home at 8.5 wins. I'll say this, Barry, if Alabama does not win more than 8.5 games, that means 9. There is going to be chaos, a revolt. But 9's not enough. There's going to be a new
coach?
I mean, 9's not going to cut it. I mean, if this team does not win at least 10 games, they're going to have to beat Georgia. Two of these, Georgia, Texas A&M, or LSU. And LSU is on the road. That's their toughest road conference game in Baton Rouge. But I'm telling you, if they don't, 8.5, 9, they going to get in the playoff with 9 wins?
Could, but even that may not be enough. Yikes.
And I know you don't want to make a harsh, rash decision. You don't knee-jerk, I think is what it's called. Well, we didn't make the playoff, or we didn't win 10 games, or whatever. Who are you going to hire? Who are you going to hire?
Well,
don't give me this guy's out of his league, doesn't know what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, maybe that could be correct. Might be right.
Might happen.
But you better have somebody ready to go. That's all I got to say.
Well, we got ready to go. Our buddy, this is Warren Matthews.
Yeah.
Gurn
this is
Senior.
Gurn Senior.
Yeah.
He is popping in today. He is, you see him on the program from time to time. Usually when one of us is out, Gurn Senior will hop in and pinch hit for one of us and does an outstanding job. He does more for this program than probably the general public knows, and we'll just keep it at that.
Yeah, he does such a good job, it makes me nervous sometimes. That's why I don't like to miss a show,
What you got for us today, Gurn?
I thought John was the only one that made you nervous, Barry.
Well, I've been nervous lots of times.
Listen, guys, today's a special day. I know you may have touched on it, but today is episode 400 of the show.
Man.
Yeah,
I believe, and I'm not 100% certain. It's been so long ago. August 28th, 2024.
Yeah.
I think it was a Wednesday.
It was. I definitely remember the day.
I just went back to the archives and watched the promo clip that the two of y'all cut saying we are back. And I have to say, y'all haven't aged more than a year or so since that clip.
Good.
I just want to tell y'all congratulations. Great job. Gurn Jr., John, Barry, everybody putting this on. It's special. And really appreciate all y'all's time and effort and work towards making this product what it is. I will also say it is what it is. I mean, it's two 60-year-old guys. Every now and then original thought comes out. But, every now and then John doesn't dog the Aubs or the Braves. I mean, it's just,
Well, that didn't happen today.
Well, that's during the commercial breaks usually.
Yeah. All right, guys. Congratulations.
Well, thank you,
Thank you very much.
Great
appreciate
400
the thought.
episode.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
very
you so
much.
much, and thank you for all of your hard work as well behind the scenes to make it happen and to make this program 400 episodes strong. We greatly appreciate that. A lot of behind the scenes work, folks. And certainly a lot of folks there to be congratulated and appreciated. We certainly do.
400 of anything
is
a lot.
We might be a couple of 60-year-old guys, but, it's just a number.
I don't even think about that.
Some people say I act like I'm 15. Oh, okay. But
that we're not identified. We're not characterized.
Numbers are just they're just numbers.
Well, when we come back, we're going to give ourselves plenty of room for our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. It's coming up next with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
It's Ram Truck Month at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams 20 grand off or 0% for 6 years, and heavy duties 12 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The Declaration of Deal sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees, Grand Cherokee L's, and Gladiators up to 15 grand off, and Wranglers 13 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. We're getting close to the top of the hour, about 14 minutes away here with Longshore and McKnight, episode 400, if you might have heard. Bob from Pike Road says it's not a knee-jerk reaction, Barry, that I shouldn't have said, that I misspoke. After 3 years, guys either can do it or he can't. Okay. But you still got to have somebody to fill in. Who are you going to hire?
Yeah, that's where Bob, that's where he needs to make his next logical step, because he'll say, I don't know, that's not my job, but come up with somebody. We're not holding you to it. We're not later on, despite Bob from Pike Road prediction, so-and-so is the head coach. It's just conversation. What do you think?
But you know me, Barry, I'm always trying to plan ahead.
Always. It's unbelievable.
I just don't like the, so-and-so's not any good, can't cut it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. You might be right. Having a hard time adjusting, can't cut it. SEC's a different animal. Who are you going to hire?
I've talked to athletic directors before about this off the air, and they've said, you've always got to have that list. Always. Sure. Got to have that list in your desk drawer.
You know what would be interesting, Barry? And you're right. I think athletic directors are always, you got to be. If you're an AD, you got to be thinking, okay,
don't ever, under any circumstances, you never want to be caught on anything flat-footed.
Yep. Who are you going to get? I'm sure Greg Byrne had a list of basketball coaches just in case Nate Oates moved on. And I got a feeling he's got a list of football coaches. What would be really, really interesting if you could get your hands on that list. Whew, man, I'd love to know who he had on that list or has got on that list.
Can you imagine John and Barry, Longshore and McKnight, like in that scene in Animal House. I mean, we got on the black stocking caps. We're trying to steal Dean Wormer's horse. Is that it? What were we doing?
No, they were putting Niedermeyer's horse in Dean Wormer's
office. Yeah, and the horse drops dead of a heart attack. That'd be us. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, we made it. We're in Greggy's office.
Remember D-Day goes fake bullets, right?
We're looking over. It's got to be in the top right desk drawer. What is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, remember when Bluto was dumpster diving and he found remember the stuff they made test out of, that purple stuff that smelled? He got the wrong test.
That's right.
What was that called?
The horse dies of a heart attack, and Bluto says, "Holy bleep."
I can remember in grammar school, the test that we got, what were those things called? They put it on that stuff and they would roll it in a machine.
Yeah, the mimeograph. It wasn't a mimeograph. It was, what was that? Because I used to be in charge of that. I used to have to write the little newspaper for my fourth grade class for Mr. Hage at Stone Middle School. I'm sorry, in middle school, at Stone Middle School for Mr. Hage's class. Oh, what was that called? Because he had that stuff and it smelled. After a little while, you kind of, you kind of got a little bit of a buzz there. Anyway,
I dropped grammar school on my kids and went, what? What kind of school?
We never called it grammar school.
Elementary grammar. Now, Barry, can you help me out here? I know you speak Dennis. Maybe you can decipher this for me a little bit.
I don't know. John, that's a cop out there. Where there's a will, there is will, and there is a way.
Huh.
Dennis, I don't get that one.
Are we talking about football coaches? I
don't know. Yikes, Dennis. I wish I could help you. So instead of chasing our tail, Gurn, we're going to go to the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Gurn couldn't edit it down. We got 7. Here we
gotta go.
Oh,
yeah, here we go. Man, we're loaded today.
We got
the orange panel. You don't see the orange panel very often.
I don't think he likes orange very much. Pinky.
Oh, wait a minute.
Pinky and the brain. Pinky the cat. All right. Some sort of a law enforcement cat. Yeah. Have your cat spayed and neutered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul Barker, feral cats are a big problem in our law. Pinky says, nope, out, done.
Yeah. Pinky's done.
Get it.
Had it.
I ain't having it. Get me out of here.
Man, the animal control board's not going to be too kindly to that.
Pinky is losing his mind. The lady, the box. Pinky ain't getting in that box. Quit it with the box. Give me a break. Pinky is absolutely losing it.
Yeah. Pinky says, I'm out of here. I mean, God, just pick the cat up by the back of its neck. Pick
it up by the leash. Hang that thing if it won't, I don't mean hang it, but... I mean, get it to Pinky.
Easy. Easy, Pinky.
Get that box. Get the box.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having a
no. That's the worst.
Yeah, man, that's a rough cat there. Okay.
Golly, Pinky ain't.
Let's see what else.
My eyes are watering now.
Man, me too.
That could have been.
That's
really
a tough one to start out with.
Begin with Pinky the cat. All right. Now, Pee-wee, this could be anything.
Yeah,
if Pee-wee's a schnauzer,
more
chicken
animals.
named Susan.
Yeah.
The peacock is evidently she lost an egg or something like that.
Okay.
All right, the mom had already taken off without that one baby. So they put the peacock egg. Yeah, that happens. They imprint.
Nice.
That happens. Now she's stuck with a peacock, which isn't it beautiful? She's probably happy. That peacock's going to be huge.
Yeah,
that peacock is going to eat every bit of that grain and the corn. And and the mother's saying, "Holy God, what have I done here? Time to get out of the house." These are 2 good ones. Good start.
Yeah, I love the animals right out of the gate with 2 animals.
Pee-wee and Pinky. That's a good vibe. I like that.
All right, awesome. We got 5 more to go. Let's see what we got.
I kind of want Growler. I wonder what Growler's all about.
Growler. Okay. Mini Pearl.
Mini Pearl, not the famous Grand Ole Opry.
Mini Horse. Okay, I thought we were talking about a basketball coach.
New York City's elderly. This is a miniature horse named Pearl.
Yeah.
They don't bring the horses into the old folks' home, please. They do.
Do they? Nice.
Oh, who's
How
the
about
one in
that?
charge of cleanup details?
No kidding.
I love it. I love those little horses.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You
John's
should
got
see those at
dogs.
the fair.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that guy petting that horse. Look at
All of
that.
those guys are thinking, man, who's cleaning up after this horse? It ain't going to be me.
No, this old guy right there is going, ooh, yeah, man, I can ease one out now. This horse is right here.
No kidding. Nobody will ever be able to know. This is New York City. Living in a retirement home in New York City. Depression, loneliness, dementia. I've volunteered before at retirement homes. Those people are the greatest.
They're nice folks.
The
yes.
greatest.
Good
Some of the best, most redeeming times of my life. Volunteering in a retirement home.
I hear you. I hear you. All right, let's go. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. You can be a winner too. Victoryland open 24/7, 365, exit 22 off 85, Shorter, Alabama. Taste tester. Man, look, we are loaded up with the animals today. Uh-oh. This is a bear.
And a beekeeper. Are they testing honey? Yeah. Beekeeper Ibrahim Sadef. The bears keep coming back. Oh, they keep breaking into his bees.
All right, I get it.
So all right. So what did he do? The bears are like, he's trying to ward them off, sending them somewhere else to get treats. You know, for the apples. Bears don't care. Apples. I mean, bears like honey. That's the cliche.
Now, are bear skin so tough that a bee can't sting them? So they don't.
No.
Yeah.
No. Bears are tough.
All right.
So what did he set up cameras? All right. Which honey they like the best?
Oh.
This is all in Turkish. It's the Anzur honey. They didn't like all the other stuff.
That's pretty smart. See which one they like the best. Pretty good. Pretty smart idea.
Really good stuff. Okay. Yeah. Episode number 400, one of our very best during Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
We're going to sweep the board with all animals. Who knows? You got to stay tuned and watch out.
There's something that says curling up and first feline. Here we go. Curling up.
Must be a dog story. No, it's
newborn calf struggling to. No. It was really cold Saturday in Kentucky. So they bring the calf to sleep on the bark lounger. Those couches are the best. You gotta. No.
You seen one that have refrigerators built into the middle? You don't have to get up to get a cold one. It's right there for you.
That's exactly right. I like that. This is not in Auburn. I know that for a fact. And it's okay. You want to keep your calves from freezing, but that calf's going to get used to it.
It is.
That calf's going to say, man, I ain't sleeping out here in this cold barn.
Yeah.
How about that couch? Give me that blanket. No.
Told you a story about a deer down in South Alabama would come and eat food when it was a fawn that somebody had out for their dogs, and the deer shows up every day.
That's
bad. Doesn't fear people or anything, just like it's an animal. Just
do not feed the feral cats, because after a while, you ain't never going to get rid of them. Ever.
They're never going to leave.
Speaking of cats, we've got Growlar and First Feline.
Let's see what we got here. 2 more to go here on the
Does Trump have a cat?
777 topic wheel.
Growlar. 3 ligers, which was Napoleon Dynamite's favorite animal. 3 hybrid animals: a coy wolf, a coyote, and a wolf. I couldn't tell you the difference anyway. A narluga, a narwhal, and a beluga whale. The narwhal has the big tusk coming out right in the middle. So that is a big narwhal. It's a narwhal and a beluga whale. A growler, a polar bear, and a grizzly bear. See, that ain't happening. That ain't happening in the real world. Unless they're real lonely, because they don't live together.
I was wondering about that. You don't see many grizzly bears at the North Pole.
No.
Maybe that happened in the zoo or something.
Got to be. No, they say, well, it's getting warmer, so the polar bears have been wandering into grizzly territory. No. That's a lonely grizzly that'll take get amorous about a polar bear.
Ooh, boy.
A growler bear.
Not at all.
I think instead of calling it, if it's a polar bear and a grizzly, instead of calling it a growler, why don't they call it a pizzly?
No, why not?
That'd be better, or pizzy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, anyway.
Great idea. All right, 1 more to go.
Feline.
Got to spin it to make it official. First feline. It's the blue panel. Normally is.
Pisley Bear wouldn't be too.
Let's see what we got here. 10
Downing Street.
Okay.
First feline's name's Larry.
Larry?
15 years, Larry catches every mouse at the Prime Minister's house.
Awesome. Way to go, Larry.
I've never been to Great Britain. I've never been anywhere. But is 10 Downing Street where the Prime Minister lives, is that like just part of like a duplex or something? I mean, is that one of those condos? Is it a condo? Is it like right next door to Alistair
it's
or
kind of,
Clive or somebody?
Residences in Manhattan. They're kind of, I wouldn't say townhouses, but
brownstones or something.
They're all there together.
Do they share a wall with,
it's probably
Emma next door or anything?
I would say there's a lot of thickness in those walls because there's probably some sensitive information that is discussed at 10 Downing Place. So I don't know. I don't think you just got,
anyway,
Joe
Larry
Smith
the
next
cat
door with a glass up to his ear. I used to do that at our old place of business when I heard people getting in a heated discussion in a sales meeting. I'd stick a glass up against the wall so I could hear who was getting ripped.
Sometime it wasn't in a sales meeting either. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Really off the wall stuff from Gurn Jr., which we kind of like here on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22, I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
Very well, Theotis, got some news for you. Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, will not be available tomorrow. So he'll be on with us Friday. Wednesdays, he's got something going on Wednesday, so we're going to move him to Fridays about 8 o'clock, kick off the second hour. So Theotis, I hope you can fit that into your schedule. I know you're a big Josh Harris fan.
He
will be on Friday instead of tomorrow. But CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News, will join us tomorrow. So looking forward to talking to CJ Duncan tomorrow.
It's coming up. Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellow Hammer News, present